a long week. I don't know. I don't know if it's a Mercury retrograde thing going on right now or what. But yeah, because I think it just ended this week. But it's like just frustration all around, and so I've been really looking forward to ending the week with this. um, and I just got went live on YouTube, and folks should be coming in. We're running a little bit late, but it's weird how that happens because I was starting to set everything up like 2 or 3 hours ago, and still ended up running a little late. But I don't know how that works. But
Sorry if I was any other problem.
actually, no, you weren't. I really don't know what ended up happening. But let me grab my little thing here. Yeah, and I've got the camera in pretty much the same spot it was last week because folks for YouTube, folks seem to really like that, so we'll stick with it until you know uh until find something better. But hey everybody. Um, well, as you're joining us, welcome. I hope everyone's doing well. If you've had a tough week, here's the point where we get to just wipe all of that away. And we don't have an actual feast date or observance going on this week, and so I said, well, we'll just honor our temple patrons being Ra Haraketi and Sekhmet. And of course, anyone else, if someone wants to,
Other
say a
than
prayer to some.
Tutankhamun's feast day,
Uh huh. Well,
would it be appropriate to honor him at any time, considering we are the Temple of Tutankhamun?
well, anytime we're honoring like okay, his feast day as such as it is like when they would have had the Hebsed for a living king,
Right.
and because we don't recognize a living king, we say, okay, well, that's a feast day for King Tut.
In this tradition, we do.
Yeah, in this tradition, yeah. And if somebody wanted to start a temple like to Ramesses the Great or Seti or something like that, they could do the same thing. And for the Hebsed, they could honor him.
For those of you considering starting a temple for Ramesses the Great, no condoms, in spite of the fact that there's some name for it.
Yeah,
which I found hilarious.
Yeah, it's really funny that they named a condom after somebody who has 100 kids.
Yeah, I'm not putting that one on.
But anyway, yeah, well, anytime you're honoring like the blessed dead, he's kind of involved in that, and there's certain things where they might honor ancestors or you get into kind of some more obscure stuff. Let me keep reading. There's a book that I've got that I've been kind of reading through that deals with the Temple of Abydos, and of course that was built by Seti the first in order to incorporate his own memorial temple into the Osiris mysteries, and so that might be able to better answer your question.
I can't wait for you to review the book.
Well, I got to read through it. There's a lot of information in there, and it's it's not it's not casual reading. So
nothing for you is.
Well, there's some folks that sent me some other books that I'm need to read first, and that should be a little easier to get through, But
she is the scholar's scholar, everybody.
Well, I wouldn't say that. There's plenty of things I still have. I'm not to the point where I'm reading things in the original German.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a little more difficult. That's why I like Google Translate. It helps. But anyway. Lily's working soon. Okay. Oh, and by the way, in answer to your question, no, today is not Hubset. Hubset happens in well, by our calendar, it's the middle of November. Yeah. So Darren was just asking a question about a feast day, and right. I was answering it.
I didn't mean to confuse anybody.
Yeah. But yeah. So with that little bit of background, right now there's nothing major going on in terms of holidays. Now, what's funny is 4th of July, the way we work the calendar, that would be a feast of Anubis. And I remember mentioning that to some local pagans, and they were like, "Oh my God, we're not honoring Anubis," and like as if they think Anubis equals a god of the dead, and so you know,
Indian Stargate.
yeah, I know. It's like uh, uh, and I could very easily get onto a rant about this, and I'm gonna make sure I don't, but I do get a little bit annoyed when area pagans and a lot of folks that are very general pagans and very eclectic, they all they know about Egyptian mythology is what they see in the movies.
The Fog Gate. Yeah.
And I think if you're interested in pre-Christian religions and being a pagan, then you owe it to yourself to at least pick up a couple of general books and learn a little bit, because Anubis is not a scary guy.
No.
But his feast day is next week, so that is the extent of my rant. Oh, oh, and okay, we got one of our folks from Eastern Europe says I had way too much coffee today, so today it's 4 a.m. and I'm still awake. Well,
Yeah, well, let's get on
well,
it.
no, because we're glad to have you here. So yeah. Oh, and one of our folks is just tuning in, after being gone a month, and said, yeah, I had a wild week, and the energies must be really weird. So
Well, let's all come together and do something good.
yeah, yeah. So let's go ahead and get this party started. Alrighty. These cool waters are upon my hands, and they purify me. This technique purifies me. Hail unto you, O Nectar. We come unto you without falsehood and without evil. Our purity is upon our hands, our purity is within our hearts. We have cast out all evil that pertains to us. Dude, my face was like right there. We are pure, we are pure, we are pure, we are pure.
I love you, boo.
I love you too. You are full of mischief.
And you love it.
Well, did that help?
Yeah.
Yes. Incidentally, I took the lately I have been using this. I think this is originally supposed to be a sake uh, pitcher, but I used this for the cool waters for our illustrations. And today I filled it and let it set for about an hour or so, ahead of time. So it got a little bit closer to room temperature, and so Darren didn't seize up, quite so much. So at least for during the summertime, that might be the trick to it.
I just get sensitive.
Well, just hope that I don't get forgetful and have to do it, like right beforehand, because then it really will be cool waters. So, okay.
As long as you're not using any of that porous material that's the evaporation
Oh.
cool it, and it will be really cold.
Oh yeah. The unglazed pottery. Yeah, because that will have an evaporative effect, and it might be an interesting experiment if I leave that out. How cool will it get? Darren, I think you are plotting you know, mischief for the next time we get to visit with Yamanu. Well, I'm gonna. Well, no. Let me do it this way.
There's nowhere to run, you Manu.
If we ever get to do a convention, boy, that's going to be interesting. Okay. Come in peace, bright eye of Horus. Come in peace. Receive the light. The eye of Horus shines like Ra in the twin horizons, and evil hides in fear of it. Receive the light. The eye of Horus destroys the enemies of Ra and all of their abodes, till none remain. Receive the light. The eye of Horus comes to the four corners of the world, and all those that are watching are purified with it. Receive the light.
Receive the light.
Yeah, we'll light our candle for a second. Hail Sekhmet, the great, the eye of Ra, who hides him within her iris. Hail Sekhmet, sovereign, mistress of light, who moves in brightness. In peace, Sekhmet, mistress of darkness, at whose setting the dusk comes. In peace, Sekhmet, mistress of fear, whose seal brings death. Hail unto you, Sekhmet, daughter of Ra, who loves Ma'at, who detests Zizfet. Most holy of the gods, one seeks life in you. And, oh God. There. It has this nice cozy glow once it's lit.
Did you light both of the alabasters?
No, I haven't lit the alabasters. Okay. You arise in the Aketis Capri, O Ra, spreading your light upon the earth. You set in peace in the mountains of Manu as a tomb, bringing your light to Duat. Shine upon earth as you do in heaven and Duat. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who came from noon at the first time, for such is your uniqueness. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who placed Hu at your left side, for such are the words you commanded. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who placed Sia at your right side, for such is your great wisdom. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, whose Hika goes before you, for such is your ability. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who rules with Ma'at upon your brow, for such is your righteousness. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra. Hail and praise unto you, O Sekhmet, O Unechuru, you lords of love and lords of life. Grant us life, well-being, and health. May our eyes perceive your goodness and our hearts receive your wisdom. May you shine upon us as you traverse the sky, that we may bring to you Ma'at and cast out Isfet. And may you guard us from the evil one through the dark hours of the night, your protection being before us and your strength being within us. Take these, your cool waters, which are the inundation, that they may cool your hearts. Araharaketi, Sekhmet, these waters are the eye of Horus, that your hearts may be refreshed. Milk, milk, may you taste it in your shrine. May your hearts be refreshed with it. We bring you this milk from the great flood of Unachuru, that you may be purified with it. We give you incense. We give you incense, great of purity. Its fragrance is the eye of Horus. Its fragrance comes to you, it cleanses you, it adorns you. It takes its place upon your hands. Oyunachuru, we give to you this eye of Horus. Its fragrance comes to you. Take this, your bread on which gods live. This bread is the eye of Horus, Oyunachuru. Lift it to your faces and be at peace with it. And I've got a little bit of mint and basil from the garden. And they're going to let it dry out. So I'll have some dried herbs. The gardens prosper, and Hapi rejoices, overflowing with his meal. We fill the eye of Horus for you with wine, O Ra, O Yunachiru. Drink and be pure. The doors of heaven and the doors of earth are open with libations for you within this house. May your faces be refreshed with your libations, your wine, and your water. Pure, pure is Ra Horaketi within his house. Pure, pure is Sekhmet within her house. Pure is the Ka of Ra with this good myrrh that is given. Pure is the Ka of Sekhmet with this good myrrh that is given. Jehuti proclaims it. It is written in his house of sacred words. Hapi gives in abundance, thousands of offerings, all things good and pure, for Ra Horaketi and for Sekhmet, in every place that their immortal Kas dwell. Come to your body, O Ra Horaketi. Come to your body, O Sekhmet. Come to your bodies, O Yunachiru. Come to your invocation. Come unto us, your servants, who are mindful of your feasts and your offerings. Bring your power, your hika, your honor, and your ba to these your offerings, and partake of them. Come, O people. Raise these offerings before the faces of these gods. Lift the offerings before Ra, before Sekhmet. All life comes from them. All health comes from them. All stability comes from them. All good fortune comes from them as it has since the first time. O Ra Horaketi and your son, the Osu Nisu Nebkepuru Ra, your foes retreat from you. Horus turns himself to his eye. Turn yourselves to these your offerings, and receive them from our hands. Incidentally, that is another instance where we're invoking not just Ra as the temple patron, but also Tutankhamun as Osir Nisut, the Osiris king Nebkepuru Ra, that's his throne name, which if you see on the banners here, the hieroglyphs on these banners spell out Hat, which is the square, that means temple, or shrine of. Then you have Nebkepuru Ra, Amenti Emweset, west of Thebes, because we are very far west of Thebes in Egypt. So. So yes, when we do the reversion of the offerings, then that's because we offer it to the gods and then we revert it and then offer it to spirit of the king and also to our blessed dead. That's why we go from that to the offerings for the blessed dead. Yeah, so there we go. Step over here. And yeah, I wouldn't be able to light that with the other one. It'd be really cool if I could take and light from that candle onto this one, but with short ones like that, it wouldn't really work. But we light this candle as the eye for us. And we offer our blessed dead cool waters from the table of Osiris. Korekaru ta henket kakao abdus and nachirmahat kutnibet nafret wabet anket nachirim and cow and akupunibu maakunibu kiranachra. A voice offering of bread and beer, beef, 1,000 of beef and fowl, incense, oils, and all good and pure things on which God lives, to the cause of all of these Aku, all of our beloved, blessed dead, all true of voice before the great God. Which, since we're dealing with the blessed dead, that would be referring to Osiris. So. We come unto you, O Ra, as Jehuti comes, our hands joined under Ma'at. Ma'at has come to be with you in every place where you are. An offering of Ma'at is made unto you, that your heart may be pleased and your Ka shall live. Truly your Enid has Ma'at, for they know you live in her. The Enid says unto you, your word is law eternally. The Svet is cast out by your word. Rejoicing is yours every day. Ma'at has taken her place in your shrine. And may we always act with gentility and compassion for such as the first Ma'at. May we always offer charity and hospitality for such as the second Ma'at. May we always respect consent and fidelity for such as the third Ma'at. May we always avoid violence and promote wellness for such as the fourth Ma'at. May we always speak words of truth for such as the fifth Ma'at. May we always promote the public good for such as the sixth Ma'at. May we always act humbly and with temperance for such as the seventh Ma'at. May we always honor our gods and respect others for such as the eighth Ma'at. May we uphold Ma'at like Jehuti, that we may witness Ra's perfection every day. Okay. And now I will read something for Ra and something for Sekhmet, and then we'll see what other requests we have. Now come to be all the words of the Lord of all. I am a tomb when I was alone. I came into being in noon. I am Ra in his rising, in the beginning ruling that which he has made. I am the great God who came into being himself. The waters, noon, the father of the gods. What does it mean? It is Ra who created the names of his limbs. They have come into being as the gods in Ra's suite. I am unopposed among the gods. I am yesterday. I know tomorrow. What does it mean? Yesterday is Osiris. Tomorrow is Ra. On that day of destroying the wicked foes of the Lord of all and of crowning his son Horus. I made the battleground of the gods as Osiris, lord of the western desert, commanded. I know the great god who is in it. I am the great phoenix who is in Yunu. I am the overseer of that which exists. What does it mean? It is Osiris. Likewise said, that which exists is his body. Otherwise said, it is eternal renewal and everlastingness. Eternal renewal is the day. Everlastingness is the night. I am Min in his going forth. I have placed the dual plumes on my head. I am the great cat who split the Ished on its side in Yunu, on that night of war, of warding off the rebels on that day on which were destroyed the wicked foes of the Lord of all. What does it mean? The great cat who split the Ished on its side in Yunu is Ra himself, called Cat when Sia said of him, how like him by what he has done, and his name became Cat. Wrongdoing is overthrown, evil is destroyed. I have seen Ra born of the hindquarters of the great flood. If he is well, then I am well, and vice versa. Now, what that means, there's a legend that the Ished, that's a Persea tree. It's a type of tree that today is only found in Yemen and the Horn of Africa. And the Persea tree, it actually puts out a fruit, and there's some related trees found in Africa, and the fruit is edible. But I think there's some examples there's like a botanical garden in Cairo that has some, but that's the only place where you can find them in Egypt today. But apparently there was at least one of them in Yunu, in Heliopolis, the center of Ra's worship, where, according to legend, when Ra overthrew, the evil serpent, the tree was split in half. And so when he says, I am the great cat who split the Ished on its side in Yunu, if you think of the tomb paintings where you see Ra in the form of a cat with a knife, and he's cutting down a snake, and there's a tree behind him, that's the sacred Ished tree in Heliopolis. And what's interesting is there's a tree somewhere in the area of Cairo that the locals believe sheltered the Holy Family when they were in Egypt, which historically may or may not be true, but that probably harks back to the trees associated with Ra.
Are we talking about the Christian Holy Family?
Yes, the Christian Holy Family of Jesus, Joseph, and Mary. Yeah. So there's an old Coptic tradition that there was I think it was a sycamore fig, in which case that's probably goes back to something associated with Hathor, who also had a shrine in Heliopolis.
Yeah.
So what we do is actually a little bit different, because the god and goddess that you would have had originally in Heliopolis would have been Ra, and then Hathor, or one of her aspects. So we're borrowing a little bit from Memphis by having Sekhmet here. But what's funny though is the modern city of Cairo is so big that it kind of has expanded to encompass, like the north end of it is where Heliopolis was in ancient times, and the south end of it is where Memphis was in ancient times. So you have a whole modern city in between.
It's just like you have the associations with Moot having both associations with both Sekhmet and Bast.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. But they would borrow from each other all the time, So now I don't see Hathor and Sekhmet as being opposite sides of each other, but they could take on aspects from one another very readily. So,
if anything, it's more like the old recycling terminology, reduce, reuse, recycle. And, well, the energy, they're always transferring to each other and back and forth.
Well, actually, in the book by Eric Hornung, Conceptions of God in Ancient Egypt, the One and the Many, his idea is that you can think of it as almost like chemistry, and each deity is an atom, but these atoms can combine to create compounds, and you get a whole new thing. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of an interesting way to think of it. Kind of makes me wonder if Professor Hornung must have had some really interesting conversations with other professors from the university where he taught. So, you
Yeah, I'm sure they had a Zen room or something.
Okay, well, hang on. I'll go over and catch up with the comments in just a minute. We'll read our litany to Sekhmet and the 7 arrows. Hail, Sekhmet, who presides over the land, lady of flourishing, generous one, Sekhmet, who protects the 2 lands. Come to us who are under your sway. Save us, protect us, and preserve us from the first arrow of famine. Hail, Sekhmet, O curl, O hidden lady, Wajit the Great. Come to us who are under your sway. Save us, protect us, and preserve us from the second arrow of drought. Hail, Sekhmet, who moves in light, who terrifies the gods with her massacre. Come to us who are under your sway. Save us, protect us, and preserve us from the third arrow of war. Hail, Sekhmet, who guides mankind, lady of the dual shores, mistress of humanity. Come to us who are under your sway. Save us, protect us, and preserve us from the fourth arrow of terror. Hail, Sekhmet, great shining one, foremost in the mansion of flame, who terrorizes the 2 lands with fear. Come to us who are under your sway. Save us, protect us, and preserve us from the 5th arrow of storms. Hail, Sekhmet, who loves Ma'at and hates Zfet, lady of the people. Come to us who are under your sway. Save us, protect us, and preserve us from the 6th arrow of oppression. Hail, Sekhmet, Uraeus who opens the acacia, great and sovereign one. Come to us who are under your sway. Save us, protect us, and preserve us from the 7th arrow of disease. And it occurred to me, with the shortages that we're having, like, has anybody else noticed the whole thing with the chicken shortage? Because you go to restaurants now, or go to like today I went to a drive-through place and they had a sign up front saying, some of our chicken, is not available because of a nationwide shortage. And I was like, what's up with this? So, this whole thing about famine, that just came screaming back to my mind as I was reading that. I was like, oh, we should really watch out for that. And I, hope that we can find alternative sources of chicken and other good things. But oh wow, okay. Yeah, I'm just scrolling back now. Dennis. Huh. Okay. Okay, and yeah, Mario was asking about the calendar that I referred to. Well, it's not on a website, but it is in several of my books, including this one. So, like all of the hymns and things that I read when we do this, it comes from celebrating the Egyptian gods. And by the way, somebody was telling me that the ebook, if anybody who's like, overseas, and the shipping for the print book would be exorbitant. I need to check on the ebook because somebody was having issues with ordering it. But this is where you can see, because like, okay, here's the litany to Sekhmet, and towards the back, just kind of a breakdown of like the seasons, and I also have like our dates here, and then like what a lot of other Kemetic groups do, because their dates are a little different, but by comparison, you can see, a lot of them start in early August. I start our New Year's is July 18th, and that goes back to what the first incorporated Egyptian pagan church, being the Church of the Eternal Source. They started theirs at July 18th, and at one point in late Middle Kingdom, early New Kingdom Egypt, it would have been July 18th, and because it has to do with when the star Sirius becomes visible before dawn. That actually changes a little bit over hundreds and hundreds of years. So it went from being like July 18th, kind of drifted to the 19th, and now over Egypt it's like today it would be July 25th. So you've got a precessional drift because of where we are in the galaxy, and relative to where other stars become visible. Hopefully that wasn't too much information at once. But oh man, I'm sorry to hear that your kitties were fighting. Hopefully that they've kind of calmed down. Okay, do I sell the pamphlets of prayers and hymns? You know what? Not yet, but that is.
She's going to.
Yes,
I'm pushing her toward that very, very, very much.
Okay, yeah. Oh, and I see somebody permanently to collect at Kemetic Temple and Sanctuary. Hey, nice to see you on here. I'm gonna have to wait a minute. Jory, is that you? I'm gonna have to find you later, but yeah. Cool. Okay, yes, and we'll get to divinations in just a sec. And I've had a prayer request. My great grandmother is doing really badly. She's been sick. She's 90 and almost immobile and blind. Definitely, but just prayers to ease her pain.
Yes.
Yeah.
For a smooth transition.
Yeah. Well, and a quality of life for what time she has left.
Yeah.
That's certainly what I would want. So.
The one thing I want to remind you is you don't need eyes to see love.
Well put. Okay, someone asked, I'm trying to get to know Hathor. You explained to some of her different aspects. Okay, yeah, that is okay. So I just put prayers for clarity and strength. Yeah, I think we all need some of those. Okay, yes, and a prayer for protection and conservation of water to Satit or to Hapi. And I don't have anything ancient, for them in any original, source material, but we'll see what we can do. And yeah, some folks are just saying that they missed some things that I was saying. So I'll take a minute. No, it's all right, guys. Don't worry about spam because this gives me a chance to kind of catch up too because I'm looking to see what your comments. So okay, and Creature of Legend has prayers of thanks. So let me show here. Let's see. Okay. Incidentally, the offering ritual that I have at the very beginning of celebrating the Egyptian gods is very, very close to what I use when we do our service here. The only difference, because we have here, the lustration rite, then lighting the candle, and saying "Come in peace." Your invocations, and I left blanks here so that if you want to honor specific deities, you can go and write their names in, fill in the blanks. So the water offering and milk and incense and food, and we have a space here for hymns and prayers. The only difference is that I've added in there the voice offering for the dead and the presenting Ma'at before we do the hymns and things. So otherwise, it's very similar. But I'll gather all of that together and make like a little like pamphlet sized book.
Need to make a book that is for ritual.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah. But on all of our behalfs, I have prayers for peace, for clarity. Somebody mentioned that, for inner strength, for us to make our way through this funk that we've all been in for the last couple of weeks. Everyone's been frustrated and short tempered and misunderstanding each other. And, there's just been a lot going on. And, hopefully that as the planets move and the seasons turn, that we can get out of this and see through to clearer days. Hear us, O Ra, great Lord of Yunu, and place your arms of blessing around all of those who are participating with us and all of their loved ones that they're offering prayers for. Let them rejoice in your bounty, and their hearts take joy in your kindness. Tell Neat and Upwo to open their ways for them, and may you protect them with your strong arm of compassion. For you are the All-Lord, the Lord of Ma'at. Holy and splendid is your name. Khepri at dawn, Atum at dusk, Ra Horaketi as you rule the nine. And may you grant life, prosperity, and health, alertness, favors, and affection. May our eyes see you every day as ones righteous who set you in their hearts. Supply our needs of bread and drink, and guard our mouths in speaking. Come to us and give us counsel. Make us heedful of your wisdom. When one appeals to you, you come from afar. Lend your ears to the lonely and the poor. May you give breath to those who are wretched, and bread to those who have none. Guardian of the weak, may you set the oppressed free, and let your blessings surpass all wealth. Okay. Yes, and definitely, prayers for an end to the drought in places like the American West, and I think there's still one in Australia. I think they've been dealing with that, persisting over several years. And, then other places are having to watch for storms, and, a lot of things that we need as much protection and guidance and relief as we can get. Okay, I'm going to scroll back up here and see there were some folks that had made some requests for divination. So let's see. Oh, okay. And Serrano was saying that her son's birthday is around the 18th. Actually, I have a friend whose birthday is July 18th, and I've mentioned to him on Facebook before, is I don't need Facebook to remember your birthday because, it's a fun day anyway. But yeah. Let's see. Who wanted a divination? By the way, if you wanted to get a divination, just go ahead and let me know. And let's see. Okay, Dominic, I'll go ahead and do yours. So if you finally come off your coffee rush and go to sleep, we can at least get that for you. Let's see. Situation, yeah. Yes, and someone did have a question about Hathor. Well, because Hathor had lots of different aspects. She can be a mother figure. She can be if you're lonely and looking for a partner, she's definitely somebody you can pray to. But because she also has an aspect as mistress of the West, one way that I see her in particular is when you're grieving for the loss of someone who's passed on. She's someone that you can look to for comfort, as you're grieving, but also, because she can go, she looks after the living and the dead. I ask her to put her arms around those that aren't with us anymore and tell them that we love them. That's one thing that I think of when I think of Hathor. So to answer a question from earlier. Oh, okay. Yes, all right. So Dominic and then Amanakt needed a divination. Okay. Poor thing. Yes, Kebri should be up any minute now, and I'm still not sleepy. Milk is a good antidote for caffeine.
So is bourbon.
Yeah, so is bourbon. Oh, and hugs from Colombia. Hey. Okay.
We love you, Colombia.
Yes. Well, David Rodriguez is coming from Colombia, so
we love you, David.
Yeah. But okay, well, let me get those and yes, a prayer request because today is Amanak's grandmother's birthday, and he always asks for a long life for her. Definitely, happy birthday to grandmother, and and Seta, you're hanging in there with us. I also remember you had requests for a job interview that you've got coming up. So we definitely want to wish you all the success and blessings that you can get with that.
And sales. I want sales to come in.
Yeah, and sales with the insurance.
Yep.
Okay, definitely.
Are you sure?
All right. Oh, hang on. Straighten your brace out. Okay. So what? Mm. Okay. And first up, for Dominic. Let's see. Wait a minute. I got them good mixed up. All right. And so. Dominic, good news for you. It says, mighty forces will come to your aid. So, I think that's a pretty good sign. And again, just in case you missed it, this was for Dominic, and it said, mighty forces will come to your aid. Fueled by the power of caffeine.
That's right.
And Amin Nakhtar's next. Whoa. Amin Nakhtar, the cookie was empty.
You name it, you got it. Your destiny is yours.
Yeah, I think they're telling you you know what you need to do. So that was that's pretty interesting. Okay. Well, we'll give it a try.
Did you want a cookie?
You guys all right? Well, wait.
Did Galvatron attack?
Well, what happened is because I have my camera phone propped up next to him, but as I stepped closer to check the chat feed, my sleeve caught him and flipped him and the phone over.
Maybe there's something that he needs for them.
Something that he.
Maybe he wants one for them.
Remember those digital guys they came out with that were like a square, and you put them together and they'd all interact based on where the land.
I don't remember those. I mean, I know they had like the interactive Lego things, but that's something. Okay. All right. Sarana. Asked for a divination, and also Alex and Rose. Okay. Let's see. So Sarana, Alex, and Rose. All right, and it's weird. This time I'm getting the vibe. It's like, all right, everything is laid out how it needs to be. Don't shake it anymore. So I just have to go. All right. Sarana, this one is yours. Sarana, this one is interesting. It says, live for the moment because there's only one result in life. And to read it again, live for the moment because there is only one result in life. So if you need to take time to celebrate your son's birthday and then go on vacation, do it. Enjoy it. That's what it's there for. So. And so we have Sarana and then Alex. Alex is next. Okay, Alex. A ship in harbor is safe, but that's not why ships are built. Wow, that's a really powerful one. I think if you're considering taking a risk on something, or maybe you were shying away from doing it, no, go for it. A ship in harbor is safe, but that's not why ships are built. So something is out there. You got to go out there and do it. And the next one up was Rose. Wait, okay. That one's just like calling. So Rose, make sure to laugh every day. It's good for your health. And I know you said you were looking for a job and you were trying to figure out how to get one. There are a lot of different ways you could take that, but at least what my sense is with it, make sure to laugh every day. It's good for your health. And you could get several meanings from that, but certainly don't stress too much about looking for a job, and don't I don't see. I see. Darren stepped out for a minute. He's really good at picking up other vibes from these things, but we'll have to ask him again in a minute. But that says make sure to laugh every day. It's good for your health. There seems to be a clue in that. Hopefully that helps. Okay. Okay, and Claire Coco wants one. Okay, Imagination Bound and Alejandro. Um, and what do I do with the cookies after? Well, I've gotten a lot of them lately, but what we had been doing was I would crunch them up, and one time we made like a batch of chocolate pudding, and then mixed the crunched up cookies in with it, and it was delicious. So, I'm sure Darren would like for me to make some more of that. But okay, so Claire, and then Imagination Bound, and then Alejandro. All right, Claire. Here we go. And your fortune says, oh wow, this is a long one. It is a great piece of skill to know how to guide your luck, even while waiting for it. So, Claire, this is probably one of the most unique ones I've seen. It is a great piece of skill to know how to guide your luck, even while waiting for it. So you may feel like something is in kind of a holding pattern for you right now, but there are still some things that you can do in the meantime that can pay off in the long term. Sometimes you have to play the long game on things, and that I think this is very much speaking to that. So next was, let's clear the Imagination Bound. And okay. Imagination Bound. This one is for you. Good to have you back. And it says, luck favors the prepared mind. And I have to say, we're getting a kind of it's like a pattern that I'm seeing with these, and it almost seems like for some people, yeah, it's time, get out there and do something, but other folks, it's like, wait for it, hang in there, not yet, but it's coming. It's like that's kind of the vibe, and maybe we're all anxious right now because there's about to be a greater shift in the broader universe, and we're just in that terrible tension before everything just unlocks. I guess that's what's going on. But Alejandro, this one is yours. All right. Alejandro, it says, in the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity. In the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity. I think that's a pretty positive message. Did you guys want a fortune? Okay. By the way, yeah. Yamato, are you okay? Because I see your eye is covered.
I'm fine. I'm just training this eye to be stronger.
Oh, okay. So is that part of your rehab?
I've had that problem a long time.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm glad you're all right. Because yeah. And I've been having. You know how it is when you have bad dreams, but it's stuff that isn't real. And it's frustrating. I've been having a lot of things like that to deal with lately, and one, was that something had happened
You're
to
waiting
you.
to see if it manifests somewhere.
Say what?
You're waiting to see if it manifests somewhere.
Actually, no, I'm not. I'm just glad that it didn't. Like I said, this was, all, false information, and I'm just glad to see that you're all right, because that was part of it. So,
Good. All right.
okay. All right. So,
Yeah, I'd like a reading after her at some point.
all right. Okay, Seta. All right, Seta. Says, keep in mind that home is where the heart is. So that's what it said. Um. I guess there's something that they wanted to tell you, and I guess it's something that wouldn't make as much sense to us, but that's what you got. Keep in mind is that home is where the heart is. And come on in. Let's see. Here we go. Whoop. Bowl. Here you go, Yamanu. It says, never argue with a fool.
Well, I might as well not be on the internet.
Well, now, what I immediately thought of? That neighbor you guys talked about.
Yeah.
Never argue with a fool.
Yeah.
Just give them a wide berth, huh?
Huh? I wouldn't want to be starting any arguments with that man.
Yeah. Tell Shannon the same thing. Never argue with a fool.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go. Okay, let me check to see if anybody else. Yeah, you know what? That's pretty cool. Rice cake. Well, like a mochi rice cake or a different one? I'll tell you the coolest thing that I had, and this was like, oh goodness, must have been like 3 weeks ago by now. But I had I was actually having weird, like, vaguely Transformer dreams at one point, and then it's like, and we were trying to reset our sleep schedule, so we had like gone to bed like really early, and we're trying to sleep the night through, and we ended up waking up, but right before I woke up, and this is something, it makes sense if you've seen the original Transformers movie, because the highlight of the movie where Hot Rod like opens the Matrix and he says, "Now light our darkest hour," I saw that in my head, and then I woke up, and I'm like, well, that's pretty cool. So, I better remember that, because I'm not gonna have that again for a while. But yeah, so anyway, so I got to put out a last call for fortunes. We've got a few left in here, but don't worry, I have still got like half a box left. We will not be running out of fortune cookies anytime soon. But, oh, so you want another one? All right. Huh? Okay. All right. Well, set. Tell us if there's anything. Wait a minute. All right. Hang on. Wow. Because he says shake the basket and one will pop out. I'm like, okay. Bam! There it was. So coming to you live from the Temple of Tutankhamun. Huh?
Let's hope it's not empty.
Nope.
Empty my head.
Okay. Here you go, Seta. Make it a rule of life never to regret and never to look back.
Okay.
And we asked Set. I think that's Set telling you, all of the crap that you had to deal with over those years. Forget it. Don't look back. Don't regret. It's done.
We're giving it power.
Yeah. Don't give it any more power. He says, make it a rule of life never to regret and never to look back.
Oh, thank you.
Huh?
I said, okay, thank you.
Absolutely. Alrighty. Well, if that concludes our request for divinations,
I want one.
oh, okay. We now have a request from Darren. I'll tell you what, Darren, do you want me to pull it for you?
No.
Oh, you want to pull it?
It doesn't matter which one of us do. Gee, there's only...
I just need to refill it. Okay, so Darren requested a fortune. He's gonna... We pulled it from the basket.
You're going to read it. I didn't bring my glasses.
Oh, okay. All right, so this last one is for Darren. Yes, that's part of cleanup after service. I pick up all the little wrappers and crumbs from the fortune cookies. Okay, Darren, it says, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity.
Very good.
Yeah. And we've been getting several fortunes that were all in the theme of looking ahead, making opportunities, but thinking, building your luck even while you're waiting for it to come.
Yeah.
So it's like, and it's funny because I've been working on, I spent most of this week editing. So I have the latest episode of the Kemetic how-to guide done. I just need to upload it onto Patreon. And then that means 4 days or so from tonight, it will be live on YouTube. And of course, you have to join on Patreon in order to see, like the outtakes and things like that.
Yeah.
And the exclusive, I still need to edit the exclusive video. But once I get through that, then we're on to stuff for July. Because
the exclusive video is a husband and wife fight.
Well, we decided to play 20 squares, and that gets very silly, and we make poor Morgan watch. And I think that was torture for him on some level.
Good. Shouldn't have done that to the boy.
Well, it's really funny because he's never had a girlfriend before, and so he watches the two of us, sitting there going back and forth, and it's the whole thing about virgin ears.
Yeah.
Be interesting next month because you'll have to deal with the whole days upon the year in addition to the days of the season.
Yeah, you know what? Something that I need to do. Yeah. Well, because we'll be having the days upon the year, and that's going to start. I think that's going to start like in the middle of the week or something like that, and New Year's is going to be like on a Sunday or Monday. I'll have to look and see. But when what I'm planning to do is make some little short candle sets, so shorter than these guys, but like of the deities, Osiris and Horus and Set and Isis and Nephthys, so we can like light a candle each day. If I can make that, that would be something really cool. But that's looking ahead to next month.
Something almost like a menorah type fashion.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime bless Ra, Tahuti for my good luck at Project Search. Consider yes, no form of divination. That might be yeah. And actually, in answer to your question, Dominic, yes, there have been a couple of times where somebody had a like something that was more of a yes no, and so I pull out the Senate sticks, and that's what we use for a yes or no. And basically, the more marked sides up, the more towards yes, and the more unmarked sides up, the more towards no. And yeah. Let's see. Yeah, but okay.
One of the things
Yeah.
I've noticed when we throw the sticks is they tend to land on their side a lot.
Well, no. Well, you have that a lot when we're playing the game. Yeah, and I know this because I've been editing the footage. There were several times where you threw the sticks for the game, and like one of them would land on its side, and we're sitting there blowing on it, like, okay, which way is it gonna go? Of course, for a divination, that wouldn't work.
Yeah. But for a divination, if it lands on its side, we're not telling you.
You know what? Yeah, we'd have to interpret that as they don't want you to.
Yeah.
They don't want to say, because sometimes they do. I think when they don't say anything, their thought is you should know what the answer is.
Always in motion is the future.
Yeah. Or I guess like the 8-ball, ask again tomorrow.
Yeah.
But all right. But that being the case, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. We'll do our prayers for the offerings to endure, and that's something else. And I think if I put together, an online version of the little pamphlet that I use, I might need to explain at the very end when we do the prayer to make the offerings endure. It involves a lot of place names, because Pei and Dep are like two halves of a town in Lower Egypt that was sacred to Wajid. So you have Wajid, and then the other half of it, to Horus. Of course, Jehuti's hometown of Kamenu, and several of them also mention Unu, which is Heliopolis, the center for Ra. So, something kind of breaking down and explaining some of that would probably help. Hail unto you, Atum. Hail unto you, Khepri. You come into being upon the primeval hill. You shine forth upon the shrine of the phoenix in Unu. You breathe out Shu and Tefnut. May the giving of these offerings endure, as the name of Atum, foremost of the great in need, endures. May they endure as the name of Shu, Lord of Upper Menset in Unu, endures. As the name of Tefnut, Mistress of Lower Menset in Unu, endures. As the name of Geb at the earth's Ba endures. As the name of Nut in the shrine of Shenit in Unu endures. As the name of Oser, Kentiamentiu endures. As the name of Iset in Nicheru endures. As the name of Sutek in Nubet endures. As the name of Wajit in Dep endures. As the name of Jehuti in Chemenu endures. As the name of Ra in the Akhet endures, likewise for eternity. You have come in peace, O Ra. You have come in peace, O Necheru. O Sekhmet, O Ma'at. May you go forth in peace, O Ra, O Sekhmet, Ma'at. May you go forth in peace, O Necheru, to every place your immortal cause wish to be. May you sail in joy in the Menjet bark, and rest content in the Sektet bark. And may you smile upon us, your humble servants. Okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah, no, Dominic. Also, there had been an earthquake in his part of Eastern Europe, earlier in the year. But it says Geb has calmed down in my country, but Set has had a rampage in the Czech Republic. It's been oh wow, a tornado. I didn't realize that there were. Well, I know that there are tornadoes in other parts of the world, but my understanding is that they're a lot more rare than they are here in the United States. So my heart goes out
Not
to
rare
them.
enough.
Yes, may Sekhmet protect them from storms and evil. Yes,
Yes.
protection from all of her arrows. And we will be reading that litany a lot next month as we get ready for the end of one Kemetic year and the beginning of a new one.
Right.
So, okay. Alrighty, guys. Well, if that's it for now, much love to all of you. Thank you as always for tuning in, and I hope we all have a better week ahead. And enjoy the weekend. Get some rest. Get some enjoyment in, and we'll see you soon.
You too, Tut. Bye bye,
Okay.
everyone.
Big hugs. Okay. Alrighty, let me just type out something. Yeah, if I can type it out next week. There we go. Okay.